Soubry slams Jacob Rees Mogg for stalling Brexit and pleads stop calling me Remainer. The MP for Broxtowe applauded herself for getting on with EU negotiations before demanding people stop calling her a fervent Remainer. Presenter Evan Davis asked, "One of the theories about his government is that it is paralysed by division, which is basically the old Brexit-Remain division now manifesting itself in those who are happy with no deal and those who are not happy with no deal or any of the other arguments over Europe." Question: Can it get anything done until the government resolves whether it is the Jacob Rees Mogg wing of the party in charge or the Anna Soubry wing? Ms. Soubry responded by slamming Mr. Rees Mogg and declaring that she is part of a swathe of conservatives looking to achieve the best deal for the UK. The stated, "Well, I don't accept this Anna Soubry and Jacob Rees Mogg. What I do accept is this: I think Jacob represents a very small number of members of parliament in my party. I accept that. And then there's this huge swathe of other people in the Conservative Party in Parliament who have accepted the result, and they want us to get on and get the very best deal, and I am one of those people." As the heated debate continued, Ms. Soubry then skewered Mr. Davis after he labeled her a fervent Remainer. She said, "The first thing that needs to happen is you need to stop calling people like me a fervent Remainer. I think we have to move on. People like me have voted in accordance with the promise we made to our constituents that we would abide by and respect the result against the referendum. I voted against my conscience. I voted to trigger Article 50 out of respect and abiding by that promise. So I just think we have to change the language because it doesn't help. We just need to bring our country back together so we can form a consensus, so we can get the very best Brexit for our country." The Conservative MP then took aim at the media's coverage of Brexit and accused it of not covering all aspects of the ongoing negotiations. She added, "Now I accept that I want us to stay in the single market and the customs union, and not everybody agrees with me, but what is really interesting, and unfortunately is not often reported, is the consensus that is undoubtedly growing, and we saw that on Monday night with the really good debate about the EEA and EFTA. These are the organizations that are unfortunately not reported by you, and you didn't look to see who was speaking in favor of that, and increasingly there is this consensus forming." Yesterday's edition of Newsnight also saw Jacob Rees Mogg shut down Mr. Davis after the presenter suggested the government was in a big mess following the resignation of Priti Patel on Wednesday. Mr. Rees Mogg insisted Mrs. Patel's resignation was not reflective of the current state of the government despite Michael Fallon's resignation as Defence Secretary last week. Mr. Davis asked, "Is the government in as big a mess as it looks at the moment?" The MP for North East Somerset immediately dismissed the question, saying it was part of the life of politics. Mr. Rees Mogg said, "If you look at the history of ministerial resignations, these happen to strong governments as much as it happens with governments with small majorities." The BBC presenter hit back, "2 in a week." The popular backbencher replied, "Well, think back to the same person resigning twice under Tony Blair. I mean, Peter Mandelson was popping in and out of the cabinet the whole time, or Cecil Parkinson leaving Margaret Thatcher. These things do happen, and it's part of the life of politics. Politics is always changing, things are emerging, things happen. So no, I don't think it's a commentary on the state of the government." The Brexiteer also quickly backed Theresa May, saying the situation was not her fault. He said, "It is not the Prime Minister's fault that while she has been Prime Minister a sex scandal has erupted affecting all parties." Emphasizing that the scandal has affected all parties, he added, "She is getting on with job, that there is a clear path to Brexit, that the bill is going through Parliament. I think it is easy to overstate the difficulties." Priti Patel, the International Development Secretary, resigned from her post last night after being ordered back to London from a trip to Africa following revelations that she had secret meetings with Israeli politicians. She had already apologized to the Prime Minister on Monday after failing to disclose a series of 12 meetings with senior Israeli figures during a family holiday in the country in